Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Pokemon Challenge video! The Isle of Armor is finally here, and last time when we went through Pokemon Sword with the Galarian Fossil Pokemon, it wasn't yet. So today, we need to do a challenge to showcase the brand new DLC. And what better way to do that than with the brand new fighting type, Wushu Pokemon Kubfu. According to Bulbapedia, Kubfu is considered a legendary Pokemon. Going into this, however, there wasn't much data on Kubfu yet, so I was assuming it would be a mythical Pokemon like Meltan. And if our Meltan solo run has anything to say about that, I assumed this would be yet another brutal challenge. But actually, Kubfu has a lot more going for it than Meltan, thankfully. Its stats are insanely good for a pre-evolved Pokemon, with a base stat total of 385. This is comparable to Pokemon like Beautifly, Dustox, Beedrill and Butterfree, and also Onix and Poliwhirl. So it's not awful, and Kubfu has incredible attack and really good speed, and a move to boost its stats with in Bulk Up, which is everything you want in a solo run, by the way. And to top it all off, has solid type coverage in Aerial Ace, Iron Head, and the Elemental Punches. This guy is pretty good. It doesn't learn a lot of moves though, but the ones it does get are phenomenal. And its ability is Inner Focus, which means it can't be flinched or affected by Intimidate, which is incredible. We'll be beating Leon in this adventure, and starting with Kubfu as soon as we can access our PC. And we'll be visiting the Isle of Armor throughout the story, ending with a Tower of Fists to evolve Kubfu for the ending. As for the rules of this challenge, they're going to be the same as usual. No items are allowed to be used in battle. Held items and any kind of Pokeball are fair game, however. I can only use the Kubfu we start the game with in battle. For any required double battles, I'll take the Kubfu we get from the Isle of Armor along with us, but it can't do anything. I must use an item from my bag that won't work, like a revive on a non-fainted Pokemon, wasting the extra Pokemon's turn. And Kubfu is not allowed to be evolved until we beat Leon, but once it does evolve, the run is over. It's just for show. This should be a lot of fun. I love showcasing unique Pokemon, and it doesn't get any more unique than a brand new legendary. I hope you guys enjoy seeing it in action. And if you do, don't forget to leave a quick like down below, and maybe even a nice comment like these guys. Thanks so much, Shroom, James Pegg, and Jam Henson for leaving comments on recent videos of mine. With that being said, let's jump into this run and see if it would be really easy or really hard to beat Pokemon Sword and Shield with only a Kubfu. We begin this adventure as none other than Ketchup from Postwick. We're coming for your dojo, old man! And upon reaching Wedgehurst, I open our PC and find our freshly obtained baby Kubfu inside. And as if we don't have enough sauce in our life, I name him Barbecue. This is gonna be spicy. Hop is of absolutely no threat whatsoever, as you would expect at this point, and once I get the leftovers in the wild area and register for the gym challenge with Kubfu's would-be national dex number, we deal with Team Yell and fight Hop once again. This is pretty easy so far, since Barbecue's pretty strong early on. This all changed, however, when we ran into Bede in the mines. His Solosis almost clean one-shot him with Confusion, and even with a critical hit from Focus Energy, we can't one-shot it right now. I decided to take a little detour over to the Isle of Armor first, to get some experience, some items, and even a new look. Clara's Venipede was no issue thanks to Aerial Ace, but her Slowpoke took several hits, cutting it pretty close. For the next hour or so, I do a ton of exploring on the island, gathering up a ton of berries, doing a couple of raid battles, and even finding a few helpful held items along the way. I don't want to do too much here right now, and instead save it for a little bit later in the game. But while we're here, I see what happens if we fight Mustard with Ketchup, or I mean Barbecue, Kubfu. He doesn't even acknowledge him, and he still holds the island's secret armor over our heads as some sort of reward. We already have it! Either way, with all of this done, I head back to the mines to fight Bede at a little bit higher level, and with the muscle band equipped. Not even close. We need move upgrades to get past this fight. Unfortunately, we can't just overlevel to solve our problems. Not that I would anyways, because Kubfu has to be transferred from another file to start with it, so it will disobey at level 21 and onwards until we beat Milo. I start by getting Barbecue the TR for Bulk Up. He learns this move normally at level 32, but that's too far away. We need the ability to raise his attack. At level 19 with the Citrus Berry, I'm able to get Barbecue to use Bulk Up 2 times. But even with this, he can't one-shot Bede's Pokemon with Aerial Ace. But with another TR, he can. I taught him the move Iron Head, and by using the Citrus Berry to get 2 Bulk Ups off, he was able to sweep Bede's team. And with that big early roadblock taken care of, it's only natural that those upgrades help us greatly against the first gym leader in Milo. With Barbecue bulking up and Max Airstreaming Milo's entire team away in just 4 turns. There's the Grass Badge. 1 down, 7 more to go. Hop on the way to Hullberry is still no issue at all, making it time for Nessa. The only thing that could go wrong in this fight is her lead Goldeen confusing Barbecue with Water Pulse. And it did. And he hurt himself in confusion, not just once, but twice. But he managed to snap out just in time, getting a 3rd Bulk Up off. And because of that, even though he was taken to only 3 hit points against her lead, it didn't matter, with him taking down Goldeen, Arrokuda, and her Gigantamax Dreadnought, all in a single shot. There's the Water Badge. 2 down, 6 more to go. We have another battle with Bede right after, but with Bulk Up and Iron Head, surely we'll be fine, right? Well, his Solosis has an upgrade too, in Psybeam. We're not winning this fight at this state. So once again, we make a quick detour over to the Isle of Armor and take on Mustard's first trial, chasing down some super fast Slowpoke. The Slowpoke aren't an issue at all, hardly doing anything with confusion. And while we're here, we do some 1-star Gigantamax Snorlax raids for some candy. The next level cap for Obedience isn't until level 40, so we have plenty of room. With our first Isle of Armor trial done, we get the G-Max Squirtle, and then our task to find some Max Mushrooms. But first, we're gonna go back to the mainland and deal with Bede. At level 32, thanks to those Snorlax raids, we're still only able to take 1 Psybeam hit. But, thanks to the added power, that's all we needed to take, with 1 Bulk Up being enough to mow Bede down. And Marnie's no sweat either. With Aerial Ace, Krogunk and Scraggy are non-threats, and Morpeko's weak to fighting. But Kabu could be a much different story. We can't use Bulk Up like we have been since he prioritizes Will-O-Wisp. So I head back to the Isle of Armor and provoke a wild Scolipede. This activates its poison point, so we can't be burned. Or so I thought. The dirty gym healed me when I went inside. I guess we're gonna have to brute force this one. And surprisingly, it was easier than I thought. With the leftovers to offset the burn damage, we were easily able to get enough attack to sweep Kabu's team. There's the Fire Badge. 3 down, 5 more to go. Hop over and Stow on side actually beat me, believe it or not. And yes, it's because he got lucky with Toxel's static. You didn't actually think he'd be a challenge here, did you? Not yet. Your difficult hop battle is in another castle. And while our super effective coverage for the fighting gym is still only Aerial Ace, with the expert belt, it does the job just fine, crushing the gym trainers with ease. And with a bit of bulking up while Bee's Hitmontop tries to counter us, that's all it took to decimate poor Bee. She's a fighting type gym leader. It looks like she could use some training over at Mustard's dojo, am I right? There's the Fighting Badge! 4 down, only 4 more to go. And the next one is pretty much immediately after having another battle with Bede, that is. And surprisingly, despite his Solosis evolving, we got really lucky. He set up Reflect on the first turn, while Barbecue bulked himself up. Then he made Duosion flinch with Iron Head, and Bede healed it. This made Reflect wear off just as Duosion went down to 2 more Iron Head, and 3 more Iron Head from there finished Bede's team off. And the time for Iron Head does not stop there, with our next gym challenge being the Fairy type. Despite Barbecue being weak to Fairy, her lead Weezing only has Fairy Wind to take advantage of that with. He bulks up the first turn and then takes Weezing out with an Iron Head. Dynamaxing against her Togekiss, and one-shotting it with a Max Steel Spike, and then Mawile with a Max Knuckle. And one more Max Steel Spike finishes her ace Gigantamax Alchemy off. There's the Fairy Badge. 5 down, only 3 more to go. Time for another Isle of Armor trial? Sounds good to me. Over in the warm-up tunnel, we have a warm-up battle. Please subscribe and like the video for the awesome joke. A warm-up battle with Clara. And unfortunately, I learned something about the DLC. It doesn't appear to scale to your current state in the game. Her Pokemon are still below level 20. I thought it would be really cool to come here at various points of the story to spice up the main game. But alas, her Pokemon remained pitiful in the second and third battle as well, getting us the island's secret armor that we already have in a female Kubfu. Straight to my living dex you go! Now we need to become best friends with Barbecue, and I don't know about you, but I think we already are, wouldn't you think so? We've gotten 5 badges with him. But some sightseeing doesn't hurt, right? No! Barbecue! Boofalon! What have you done? Oh, he's okay. Never mind. We visit the sites available, and Mustard's quite impressed, sending us on a special training task to conquer one of the towers of 2 fists. This will get our Kubfu to evolve into Urshifu, and this is the final goal of this adventure. But we're gonna save this as our final challenge, after beating Champion Leon. However, something interesting to note, this too has not scaled. They tell me to train my Kubfu to level 30. They told me 70 on my main file. Let's hope this updates after Leon. Level 20 Urshifu, anybody? Speaking of a good challenge, Hop was not that. And neither was our next gym challenge versus Gordy. He is weak to fighting after all. There's the Rock Badge. 6 down, only 2 more to go. And what is normally the most difficult battle in a challenge run on these games was a one-shot sweep with close combat. Hop needs to add some sauce to his life, apparently. Maybe he should head over to Mustard's dojo too. And that's exactly where we go after getting our bike upgraded, getting a nice white flare to leave in our wake, as we bike straight on over to Spikemuth and do the same thing to Marnie that we did to Hop. For this gym, we need a second Pokemon, so out of my living dex you go, Kubfu. To tag along for just a little bit, who doesn't love Barbecue Ranch? Let me know what your favorite sauce is down below. I bet Piers doesn't love Barbecue Ranch though, because just the barbecue part completely ripped his team of dark types in half. I take it Kung Fu isn't exactly his style. There's the Dark Badge. 7 down, only 1 more to go. And that final gym challenge is immediately after. But I was surprisingly stuck on a gym trainer of all things. These fights are in double battles, meaning it's dub food time. Please don't leave. And Barbecue could not defeat the first one and his Pelipper at his current level. Of all things to give me trouble, it's a Pelipper? A quick Chansey raid over on the Isle was a simple fix, however, opening the way to the final gym leader, Rahan. With the Eviolite, his Pokemon hardly do anything to Barbecue, and 2 Max Knuckle hits takes down his Flygon, with a 3rd for Sandaconda. And then from there, it was 2 swift jabs with close combat to seal Rahan's fate. There's the Dragon Badge. That is all 8 badges of the Galar region in our possession. Time for the semifinals. In the semifinals, we have a rematch with both Marnie and Hop, and they both were absolute clean sweeps. Kubfu may be small, but he has such good attack and speed, and the perfect arsenal of moves to set up with, which is everything you need in a solo run. The Macrocosmos workers, Oleana, Bead of all people, Nessa, Bee, and Rahan all went exactly the same. The same strategy of Dynamax, Max Knuckle a couple of times, and close combat to finish. Nothing could even think to touch us. Going into this, I assumed Kubfu would be like Meltan. Not very good. If I knew he'd be this insane, I would have tried without Dynamax. And on top of that, the experience charm you get from the Isle of Armor made him a much higher level than you'd expect. And I hardly ever trained him the entire run. But hey, he's a new Pokemon. They can't all be brutality. He's really cool. And of course, Chairman Rose, being a Steel-type user, stood literally no chance. And Eternatus was a swift ice punch to the face, only leaving one final battle of the main story versus the unbeatable Champion Leon. And surprisingly, this actually took a bit of planning. Barbecue can't make it through the whole fight without items since Dragapult, Inteleon, and Charizard outspeed him, meaning we need to carefully determine what we need boost-wise to win the fight. With Aerial Ace for max Airstream, we can luckily raise our speed, so not all is lost. And Aegislash is an idiot with King's Shield. We need 2 hits for max Airstream to outspeed his whole team, and we need our attack at +5 to one-shot his Dragapult with Aerial Ace. This is because we need Thunder Punch for Charizard, and we need Bulk Up to set up against Aegislash, and we need Close Combat for max Knuckle, only leaving Aerial Ace, which we also need. With the Eviolite, we can bulk up 4 times against Aegislash, assuming it uses King's Shield every other turn. It's able to be knocked out in a single max Airstream after that if it stays in Blade form. And from there, Mr. Rhyme follows suit. We then get our last attack boost with a max Knuckle on a Haxorus, and then Aerial Ace will one-shot Dragapult, and Thunder Punch for Inteleon, and then Thunder Punch for his ace, his Pride and Joy Gigantamax Charizard, beating this unbeatable champion and becoming the champion of the Galar region, only ever using a little Kubfu in battle. But we're not done just yet. We have a Tower of Fists to take down. I chose the Tower of Darkness since I did the Tower of Water on my first playthrough. Barbecue and I slowly scale the staircase leading there, and the level has increased. But we're still over leveled. That's just how it goes when you beat the entire game with only a Kubfu. Inside the Tower of Darkness we go. How bad could it be? Close combat, close combat, close combat, close combat, reaching the very top of the tower, having a one-on-one with Mustard. Kubfu versus Kubfu. And Ketchup versus Mustard. You're obligated to like the video. Close combat. What? It has a focus sash? I was not expecting that. But it doesn't matter. Ketchup is way better than Mustard. And we just barbecued him to a crisp! And for our Kubfu Barbecue's incredible effort throughout this entire journey, I let him evolve into Single Strike Urshifu. There you have it. We just beat Pokemon Sword and the Isle of Armor DLC, only using Kubfu in battle, without any items in battle. And we have won this game. I had an insane amount of fun with this run. This little guy shocked me so much. He's insane. I pretty much just pushed A to win almost every single battle. And that was a very pleasant surprise when I was expecting Meltan 2.0. I upload a Pokemon Challenge video just like this one every single weekend on Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And maybe even sometimes other days too. So if you want to see more videos just like this, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell for more. And of course, leaving a quick like down below and maybe even a nice comment also goes a really long way to help the video and the channel grow. And who knows, maybe I'll even feature your comment in a future Pokemon Challenge run of mine. If you haven't done so already, I highly recommend checking out the Meltan solo run I did on Sword a few months back. It's the second most difficult challenge I've ever attempted, and is one of the most difficult challenges ever done here on YouTube. It's really cool. If you want to see that, there's a link to that, and the playlist containing all the challenges I've done thus far. Both of those things can be found over here. With that being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, as always, and hopefully I'll get to see you next time for another Pokemon Challenge run. Until then, hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Kubfu! Why'd I do it? I don't know.